Hello and welcome back to another episode of Bat to the Ball. I am Andrew here to break down the Brewers versus the Diamondbacks series of mild frustrations, but ultimately pretty decent results. So, game one was Kyle Harrison versus Jose Cabrera. Cabrera being one of I think just like making his third career start for the Diamondbacks. So, um, early on it was kind of just like whatever type thing, but it was not until the second inning where Mitchell launched a absolute bomb to like right center field or whatever, and they had to go to review that home run. But ultimately, they decided that even though the fan did kind of reach over to get the ball, it was still a home run because they figured it was going to hit off the top of the um, railing basically and just bounce out. So okay, fair enough. I was like, that was good to hear. So a 2-run homer from Mitchell, who's on an absolute heater at the moment. That's really good. That was really awesome to see. It was so you got the two there. Third inning, Bowers will single and score another run. It is then 3-1 Brewers or 3-0 Brewers. But Harrison kind of struggled. He seemed like he did not have his best stuff. I don't know, fighting his location, fighting his command a little bit recently. So he ended up only going 2 2/3 after giving up a double to Nolan Arenado, which I was convinced it was out type thing. I was like, it was Arenado, and he's always killed the Brewers, so I just assumed it was a grand slam or whatever. But it ended up being a double. Diamondbacks would end up tying it off of that. It was that. It wasn't until the Brewers had opportunities in the fourth inning after it had second, third, on one out type thing. Hamilton, feel like inexplicably running into a double play there really, really stunk. Really what it came down to. Because Brewers could have ended up just responding to those 3 runs or whatever, taking the lead type thing. Also in this game as well, Mitchell almost hit another 3-run homer, but was taken back by Gurriel. And it was just like, oh, come on, man. Sometimes the defense and the miscues. I don't remember what inning that was. I think it was the next time, but maybe it was even before. No, I don't think it was before. It was like I think it was in like the 5th inning or something like that. I honestly don't remember. But I mean, the Brewers had plenty of opportunities. I mean, the fact is that you went 3 for 18, 3 for 18 with runners in scoring position. You had a ton. Not that the Diamondbacks didn't do much better with 3 for 12, but it's just like there's so many guys or whatever. The 8th inning is where you had another prime opportunity. You had first and third, one out, and Murph, I love you, man, but why won't you let Cooper Pratt swing the bat when an RBI situation comes up? I don't understand. Like trying to lay down a bunt. Bowers is not the fastest guy at third base or whatever. It's like if there was like Hamilton or Mitchell or Frelick or I don't know, someone. It's just like Bowers was just not, and it wasn't the greatest bunt, but like and stuff like that. And so Bowers gets picked off at third after trying to lay down a suicide squeeze. It did not get far enough away. Bowers had to try and hustle back to third, but Moreno threw over to Arenado and he was tagged out, and it was just like a prime opportunity was lost. Everything to score in the late innings to take the lead, but no. Unfortunately not. So this game would go into extra innings where the 10th inning is when where rarely you see both teams score nothing, as the Brewers got very lucky and played very horribly in the 10th inning. It's like Bowers struck out to start the inning or whatever with a guy on second base. And so you're just like, crap. I think it was like Contreras on second base, if I'm not mistaken. So you really need to get him over to third. Perkins did one batter later, but we're unable to score. And I'm thinking, oh boy, here we go. It's like, now they're going to score one type thing. But did not, as I think Anderson got the ground out. Yeah, because it was Anderson that pitched the extra innings. Anderson pitched the 2 innings in the 10th and the 11th. He got a double play and then got Gurriel to pop out. So we were both still tied into the 10th inning. The 11th is when we actually got a little bit of success. Ortiz laying down a bunt or whatever. Then they intentionally walked Yelich, and then Churio will single. Well, it says single, I guess, because it was a single with an error in there. So it was kind of a light tapper out to the pitcher, but he was trying to. It was on the left field or down the third base line. Pitcher trying to make a play, going home, fall and just fell over, and was a very. You could definitely say he probably should not have thrown that ball because another run did come in to score. So Brewers ended up taking a 5-3. Triangle ends up singling after that, taking a 7-3 lead. And the Diamondbacks would get one back into the 11th inning, but ultimately that was all that was said and done. Grant Anderson with the win. Brewers win 7-4. In another game where it was just like a little bit of bad luck with the Gurriel. Another good play by Gurriel to make the jumping catch into the to rob Mitchell of a home run. You don't have extra inning or heroics without it. Ultimately, the bullpen did its job. Patrick pitched great after he's been kind of struggling as of recent, so it feels like Patrick's kind of getting back to his old self a little bit. So that's exactly what the Brewers need at the moment. Pitched 3 1/3 innings, 2 strikeouts, only 1 hit allowed though. So some contact, but not a lot to show from it. Ashby came in through 1 inning, walked a guy, but it's again didn't allow anything. Uribe pitched an inning, got a strikeout, got a hit against him. McGill, same thing, but ultimately ended up working out of it. In the end, you take those wins when you get them, but man, there was so many more opportunities. Not even just the 3-run home run that was taken away by Gurriel, but it's just like Hamilton running into that double play. You can't be doing that, man. You didn't have to move. It's like just stick it around second base or whatever. They get the one out at first, or they have to throw home and try and get the runner at home. I mean, it's early enough in the game. They probably just throw over to first. So it's like, oh, like that. Just miscues on the base pads with Bowers, and just like inexplicable choices. I'm like, have Pratt swing the bat or whatever type thing. I don't know. It's just like, or if like that happens, like pinch hit for him. Like legitimately, have Ortiz pinch hit for him if Murph's really that. I don't know. Like that need, and it's like, look, Pratt's I know been struggling and stuff like that, but we always see it from every rookie. Basically, it's like maybe the Brewers called up Pratt a little earlier than they wanted to, but in the end, I still think that he'll work through it. So, and you have to let him try and get through this, man. I don't know. It's just like bunting there just didn't make sense to me. It's like, yeah, maybe the bunt, if he got the bunt down or whatever, maybe it would have worked out, but anyone, I think any one of our faster guys on the base pads, you could argue that would probably work out, but Powers didn't. No. So, whatever, wins win, whether or not it was good or anything like that, it is what it is. Mitchell was on an absolute heater again. So, game 2, we have Brandon Woodruff versus Merrill Kelly, as Kelly just seemed to pitch a goddamn gem in this game for some damn reason. I don't really understand why, but it is. Was the first inning where they were getting a little bit off of Woodruff there, as Del Castillo hits a 3-run homer in the first inning, and I'm just like, oh boy, here we go. Wasn't until about the 5th inning when Christian Yelich went deep with his ball into center field. Rang was on base, so Brewers get a little closer, going 3-2. Couple opportunities going forward there especially in that 5th inning, as Mitchell hits a double. And then we got the guys in second and third. Andrew Vaughn, who's been so good with runners in scoring position, strikes out with runner on third, less than 2 outs. Just need to put the ball in play. My goodness, as we went 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Come on, guys. What is going on, man? I don't understand. I don't get it. It's like we're just trying to do too much. I don't know. They just need a hard reset. And unfortunately, the All-Star break is still, we still got like 8 games yet to play for the All-Star break. But it is what it is, man. Stuff like that. So, really is realistically, the Brewers didn't get anything off of Merrill Kelly other than that 2-run home run or whatever. The eighth inning is kind of when you had the next opportunity to try and tie up the ball game and failed to do so. Or it wasn't that. It was the fifth inning. Eighth inning, you had a little bit of opportunities, but it wasn't much. So, the Diamondbacks would add on in the eighth inning off of I think it was Koenig at the time. Yeah, Koenig gives up his first earned run of the year. 1 inning and 2/3. So they asked him to go. They asked him to go the long one after Woodruff. I'll talk about that afterwards. But Woodruff ended up leaving the game because of, they said, inflammation. It was like it's the same. It's the same thing as we saw with when he was with I think it was the Cardinals start or something like that. Wherever he was last time, and he just had no juice in his arm. Like you just saw like the dip in that or whatever of his velocity. Hook and Murph clocked it instantly, took him out of the game. He's like, yeah, I got no juice left. It's dead arm scenario again, all over again. And it's just that was just upsetting to watch, type thing. And I'm just like, no, please, come on. I'll talk about that a little bit afterwards, but we'll get through the rest of this. Churio with a very clutch home run in the ninth inning, though, would bring us within one. Unfortunately, we weren't, and no one was on there when he hit that. So ultimately, the Brewers ended up falling 4-3 in this game, where he had so many opportunities once again to come up with a hit with runners in scoring position, failing to do so. The only hit with runners in scoring position was the Christian Yelich home run, where Terang was on second base. That was it. So many opportunities. Like, Kelly was giving up hits left and right. He gave up 8. Fact is, in this game, you got 12 hits. You only managed to score 3 runs. 3 runs, you left 10 on base. Like, come on, guys. What is going on? Like, why are we just struggling to hit with runners in scoring position? Is it just trying to do too much at the plate? It kind of feels like it. Just let the game come to you. I don't know. Maybe it's just because there's so much emphasis put on it recently that it's just like it's in the back of their head. But you can't be thinking like that. You just can't. Type thing. It's like, just take the at bat as you get it, type thing. Really what it comes down to. Game 3, again, once again, the Diamondbacks getting off to a quick start against Brandon Sproat, as Corbin Carroll doubles down the line, and Perdomo will score off of that. They take a 1-0 lead. It wasn't until the 7th inning when the Brewers would take the lead by a Jake Bauers home run, as Frelick was on base, 2-run home run. That, and then Ortiz would later single up the middle after Gary Sanchez doubles, and then I think Sanchez moves over on a fly ball, which was surprising to me, and get that extra insurance run that they need. But it wasn't until the next inning, Ashby kind of runs into a bit of trouble, giving up a run in that one as well. Only went a third of an inning. Ariba came in and was pretty clutch this game, whatever, after pitching 1 2/3 innings. So getting the rest of the 7th and the 8th inning as well, having plenty of opportunity to do that. So ultimately, you survived the 7th inning. The 8th inning, it got a little hairy there, as Uribe did give up a single. I think he then stole second base or whatever. Hard hit ball by Pavin Smith, but right at Bryce Terang, able to double off the runner at second base. He was leaning just a little too far off the base with a huge double play there. Miguel came in the 9th, gave up a single to Perdomo, and with Corbin Carroll having a chance to tie up the ball game with a long ball, but will not, as Corbin Carroll flies out, as Frelick making a very, very good catch out in the right field foul territory over there. Brewers end up winning the game 3-2. This game did not have as many runners in scoring position. You were only 1 for 5. The Diamondbacks actually really failing to score more runs was actually a bigger issue for them, as they went 2 for 13 with 10 on base. So ultimately, Drew Rom gets his first win of the year. Probably is maybe potentially only win of the year, but it's pretty good when you only pitch a third of an inning. But you were the last one. Grant Anderson came in or whatever. Sprout, need more than 4 innings from you, man. Like, your line is okay. Way too many pitches. So we need some length from you. We need you to, not take 1,000 pitches to get through an inning. That'd be nice. But overall, win's a win. Ended up taking the season series against the Diamondbacks 3-2. Or 3-2. Jeez Christ. 4-2. So not that I think that will really matter for tiebreakers, but it's pretty nice. I mean, the story is what it's always been these past couple weeks, is just like hit with runners in scoring position. You gotta hit with runners in scoring position. We have so many opportunities in these 3 games. Three games. Realistically, this probably should have been a sweep of the Diamondbacks, but we just can't hit with runners in scoring position. We couldn't add on any extra runs in that second game. And ultimately, it's just like, I feel like that's a game that's going to end up haunting us in the end type thing. And we could have really done better. But I guess it is what it is type thing. Then going back to game 2, Woodruff, man. I personally love Brandon Woodruff. He's been one of my favorite pitchers to watch and to root for on this Brewers team for a long time. Obviously, I feel like we all kind of fell in love with him when he hit the home run off of Kershaw back in 2018. Stuff like that. I mean, they're doing a giveaway of that for a reason. It's just like, this is the second time we're dealing with this dead arm situation. Took him 2 months to come back last time. I have a feeling like if that happens again, it's probably going to be the same scenario type thing. So you sit here going like, what role can Woodruff play for the rest of the season that would make him impactful? I think it's maybe the bullpen. I don't think I don't think he can be a starter anymore. I think if this is just going to be coming, it's like one time it's like, okay, maybe, but the second time it's like, all right, something's up. Like it's like your shoulder just can't handle the workload. Something. I'm sure they'll think of something with a hook or what, or that, or maybe just save him for the playoffs. I mean, it legitimately might just be that. It's like, just have him pitch in the playoffs. Fact is, he comes back from the IL. He's been lights out pretty much. I don't think he had one bad start in his few games he pitched coming back. Yeah, it's like it's like 6 innings, the 1 hit against the Reds. That first series there, you got 5 2/3, only given 1 hit and 2 walks, no earned runs against the Cubs. Then Arizona, obviously, this one was a little bit of a different story, but it's just like, geez, man. When you look at it, it's just like, I'm trying to think, like, what else? Because there's another few starts in there, wasn't there? Or was that it? Yeah, he only had 3 starts. Big Woo. Need you, man. We need you. But I just don't know how much the Brewers can rely on him going forth. I really don't. I don't know. We'll see, but I don't know. I just think that if he does come back, it might just need to be a bullpen type of thing. Have him pitch like a couple innings to kind of bridge the gap between a guy who's having like a bit of a shorter start, whether it be Sprout or Harrison or whatever type thing. Gasser, Drohan, whatever. And make him like kind of the piggyback starter, kind of what Patrick has been doing this entire time. Thing is Patrick's been good from the bullpen, so I almost don't want to move him either. Maybe he could just be another bullpen arm and kind of help out every so often, but I don't know, man. Like, where does that leave the starting rotation? Where does that or whatever type thing? Because if without Woodruff, it's like you got Mizrowski, Harrison, Henderson when he comes back. I think he made a rehab start, so hopefully he'll be back soon. Rohan. Then, I know Crow is supposed to start. I think this is one of these games of the doubleheader versus the Cardinals, which I'll get to here in a second. Gasser. I mean, we have options. I'm not overly thrilled by any of the options, though. I don't know. Maybe it is time to get a starter or something like that. Whether that's I know this is going to bring up conversations. I'm going to say it here too, but it's like Tarek Skubal. Only if the price is right, man. And I'm starting to be on the fence that I don't think the Brewers can trade Mitchell. I think he's been too much of an impact bat. I think he's starting to figure out something at the plate that I just don't want to get rid of him. He's got an 830 OPS. Makes him valuable to trade, yes, but at the same point, I don't know you can. I really don't know you can. Well, it's more enticing than Frelick's 644. And I go, well, it was a lot lower recently. His Frelick's batting average and hitting has gone up tremendously over the second half of June into July here. He's been playing a lot better as of recent. So maybe that's, reason that maybe his stock is going up type thing. Personally, in my mind, I would much rather get Joe Ryan. I think his price is going to be a lot lower. Potentially could be a little bit higher though with a bunch of teams looking for, you're always looking to add starting pitching going into a pennant race or playoffs. So I think that if the Brewers do make a trade, I mean, Joe Ryan's always there. I think there's a few other teams that you could look at to try and kind of get some starting pitching off of, but yeah, it's just like I don't know how much you can rely on Woodruff going forward. Sucks to say. And now with this whole injury, I know his whole thing was that I want to be healthy for the season. You saw him try and pitch through the dead arm scenario again, but the Brewers saw it and clocked it instantly. He was like, nope. Got Marte to strike out on a 75-mile-an-hour changeup at the top of the zone. Ah, man. Guy's so good. I don't know anyone signs him. It might just be his career because I don't think the Brewers are going to keep him around next season. Sucks to say. He was one of my favorite pitchers. Look for Brewer fans. If you don't love like a guy like Brandon Woodruff, I don't know why you're a Brewers fan, to be honest with you. Because it's like the guy guts out every start, and he's usually so good. Type thing. The guy is so good at pitching and stuff like that. He's transformed himself after this shoulder injury from because before all these shoulder injuries back in 2018-19, he was a flamethrower. He was a guy that threw upper 90s. Tried to overpower guys with fastballs and stuff like that. When he came back from injury, he was a more meticulous kind of like changing up speeds, throwing guys off of that or whatever, getting into that mindset of a hitter type thing. He was like, all right, I'm going to throw the changeup. I'm going to throw, it was like anywhere from, 92 to 95 on our fastball type thing. And then, get you out in the changeup, get you out in the slider type thing. Like that's the kind of pitcher Woodruff became and stuff like that. And he did it so well. You don't see many guys transition like that and still find success. Yeah. That often. It's like you some guys you see like, oh, I'm a fastball pitcher, I'm an overpower kind of pitcher. I'll strike you out with my fastballs and that's it. I mean, like, I don't know, but Woodruff he found a way to transform himself so you be the mindset of like, I'm still going to get the strikeouts with the changeups and not so much the fastballs. And I think that's really saying something about who he is as a pitcher and the mindset and the work ethic that he has. Whether it's his career, whether it's the year, who knows? I hope this isn't the last time we've seen Woodruff pitch, but again, I don't know how much you can rely on his arm. So, just really, really sucks. Just really sucks. On so many levels for the Brewers, for Woodruff, stuff like that. I mean, it's got to be so frustrating for him. It's like you dealt with this, this whole dead arm scenario type thing, and now we're back at it, and you work through it, and now we're back at it again. And it's just like, is he gonna crop up again? Maybe. I could see like if Woodruff does call it a career playing wise or whatever type thing, being a pitching coach somewhere, like working, and I'm like, maybe the Brewers should hire him to be a pitching coach. I think he'd be a great pitching coach for the exact reasons I outlined or whatever. It's like you get into the heads of the minds of the hitters and stuff like that. Like that's not something that a lot of pitchers can kind of do. A lot of pitchers kind of rely on the catchers type thing to kind of like, okay, I think that like it's like, oh, he was out in front of that fastball type thing, so it's like we either need to let's change up speeds type thing. Let's lean a little bit more on the off speed stuff. Okay, and hitters kind of look at that and see that. So I don't know if pitchers can start thinking that mindset type thing, that'd be great. I think Woodruff sees it better than a lot of guys. So we'll see. We'll see what the future has for Woody and what the Brewers will do with the rotation going forward. I guess that must just mean that Rohan's probably going to be a permanent player in this rotation. I don't hate that because he's been pretty good, but we'll see. All right, with the Diamondbacks series ending, we got the Cardinals to look forward to. This is a 5-game series as we are making up a doubleheader that we had with them last time we faced them at Busch Stadium. So it'll be a 5-game series, doubleheader on Tuesday. So game 1 will be on Monday. It'll be Shane Drohan versus Dustin May. Hopefully the Brewers do not get no hit by Dustin May up into the 8th inning and still find a way to win. I mean, that's cool if you could still find a way to win, but let's not get no hit, please. That'd be great. Please, please, please. So I don't remember who ended up breaking up that doubleheader or that doubleheader, the no hitter, but it was good. So, yeah, let's just not let it happen. So, like I said, so game 1 of the doubleheader is to be determined for both. I think it was Saturday's broadcast, they were talking about how it sounds like Coleman Crowe is going to be making his one of the starts will be one of these doubleheader games. It says Mizorowski is slated to pitch game 2, which I think would be his normal start. The Cardinals do not have their pitchers, I think, right after first game out there. So Mizorowski is slated to pitch game 2. I think Coleman Crowe is probably going to pitch game 1. Probably. I know the Brewers called up Drew Rom with Woodruff going on the IL for that one or whatever. That's why he ended up pitching this game. I know Kuhnel's on the IL with a Yoho coming back up. So I have to think Gasser's probably coming back up at some point, whether they're sending Rom back down or whatever the case, Coleman Crowe. I have to think Gasser's coming back unless there's something going on there. But overall, Mizorowski game 2, Harrison game 2 of the doubleheader, ultimately game 3. Game 4 will be Kyle Harrison, and game 5 was yet to be determined by both teams. When you're facing there's a rare 5-game series, you're going to see every pitcher from them. Basically, it's like from the Cardinals, you're going to see everything that the Brewers have to offer. It's like they're seeing Mizorowski, Harrison. So hopefully Miz can give us some length after that kind of subpar start from him against the Reds. Hopefully we can get some length from him, especially in the Cardinals. I have a feeling that most likely Murph's going to want to unload bullpen a little bit in the first game and then probably hope that Mizorowski can make some length to kind of save the bullpen for game 2. It's really hard to sweep a doubleheader, so I'm probably going to think we're probably going to end up splitting here 1-1. I think that's very realistic to think about. Because you obviously don't want to pitch like McGill and Uribe 2 days in a row, or even Ashby, or 2 games in a row, even though they're 2 separate games are on the same day. You don't want to do that. So you're probably going to have one bullpen for one game and then another bullpen for the next game. And then hopefully get some length from Harrison in game 4. So that way when game 5 rolls around, it's like whether it's Gasser or Henderson, maybe if Henderson's going to make a start, maybe he makes game 5, maybe he makes 5th game start. Who knows? I'm not sure. But we will see there. Yeah. That's hopefully in this 5-game series you can make, I don't know. I think realistically you could try and another realistic chance is probably you're going to go 3-2. But me, it's like, and with the offense struggles, I think 3-2 you'd be pretty happy with that. Try and take 4. I don't know. I think you could. Problem is the way the hitting's been going. Basically, it's like pitching's been keeping us into it. It's like we were batting like, what is it? Like I saw a Reddit post like it was like the Brewers are batting like 187 with runners in scoring position for like the past like it was like 20 games almost basically, and they are like, what is it, like 13-7, 12-7 or whatever in those games. I'm like, so the fact is you're winning because your pitching's keeping you in the game, but you don't want to live like that. Basically, like that's essentially what the Padres are doing right now, and look what's happening to them. It's like they're falling apart. We just need to it's like whether it's just survive until you get into the All-Star break, hard reset after everyone gets a few days off, and you go, whew, all right, breathe, type thing. Let's take the second half into account, type thing, and move forward from there. Or something's going to have to click. Like we're making hard contact, starting to use the opposite field to the ball. Opposite field is starting to get on base more. I'd like to see that from guys like Yelich and stuff like that. Less strikeouts. I feel like our strikeout rate's been a lot higher recently as a result of that. I don't know if it's just like maybe being a little bit too patient at the plate, trying too hard to do certain things. I don't know. It's just like there's just times where I see guys like we're swinging at stuff at our heads, basically. I'm like, what are we doing? We're pressing too hard to make something happen and something like that. You gotta let the pitches come to you and work the count. Really what it comes down to, work the count or attack early or something like that. If you see a pitch you like, swing at it, man. Like, but make sure it's in the zone, especially early on in the count. I don't know. Go back to playing Brewers baseball, or having that approach. Like that's just really what it comes down to, and that's why I say it's like we almost feel like we need a hard reset. But like I said, we're about 8 games out from that. Like we got this 5-game series versus the Cardinals. You got 3 against the Pirates, I'm pretty sure, and then it's the All-Star break. So you got 8 games yet to play. 8 games is a lot of games, all against division rivals. So I don't know, man. I really don't know. But ultimately, it's like you just need to play better, survive. You can get a small break for the All-Star break, and let's get back to it, boys. That's all I'm gonna say there. So it is kind of nice to have this All-Star break happen right after playing a bunch of games in a row, so everyone can kind of just breathe, basically. I know for the All-Star game, I think the Brewers had 2 All-Stars, although I think they probably should have had more. I think we all would argue that they should have had more. It's like I know the 2 All-Stars are Jacob Mizorowski, no surprise there, and William Contreras. So that's pretty awesome for Contreras. He has had a pretty good year up to this point. If I look at Contreras' numbers, he did not play that game, so I need here. Overall numbers is 295 average with a 774 OPS, with 9 home runs and 51 RBIs, bunch of walks. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's solid. I don't think he's gonna be the starting catcher for sure, but it's cool to see him. Cool to see him named as an All-Star. I think it's his first time since being a Brewer, or did he get it his first year with the Brewers? I don't remember. No. Miz is probably not. I think is just because of way his schedule is lined up. I don't think he's going to be available to pitch in the All-Star game. I know there was some comments he made by it or whatever. It didn't seem too broken up by it. He pitched in. He was able to pitch in it last year, type thing. Being named an All-Star, I think, is enough for him. I think he's looking for the season to kind of be his breakout year. So gives him an extra opportunity to rest, and then gives the Brewers an opportunity to kind of reset the rotation as well. Even though the rotation's kind of like in a good spot as it sits, but yeah. So congrats to Miz, congrats to Contreras. The scrubs obviously being Bryce Terang and Jackson Churio, I think are the two biggest scrubs. I would also argue that Bowers being scrubbed from there is really something, considering the guy has now 16 home runs. 16 home runs, 54 RBIs, and an 861 OPS. And I get the first base. First base is a difficult position. That's his main position. I know he plays the outfield, but his main position is first base. So that's a tough position to win on. So still think he probably should have been named, but it is what it is. And the All-Star voting is BS anyway. So it is what it is. Yeah, let's beat up on these Cardinals. They did just take, I think they just took 2 out of 3 against the Cubs, so that was pretty nice. So let's just try and right the ship, I guess. I feel like I've said the last like 3 episodes basically. It's just like, let's just get back to playing our game type thing. That's really all it comes down to. So no, I don't know. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. Be back on, I think Thursday is when the last game versus the Cardinals. So we'll try and be back either Thursday or Friday whenever I'm able to kind of get these games. Whenever I can get this kind of out there, basically. So until then, we will see you all next time. Let's go beat up on them Cardinals and hopefully not get no hit by Dustin May. That'd be really cool. So, bye-bye.